Hello my lovelies, BandEadd here, and today I am going to be answering your questions about the Irish language. Gaeilgeoir, I am an Irish speaker. I learnt my Irish in school. I'm not actually from a Gaeltacht region, which is where they speak Irish natively, but I've been speaking Irish since I was about 4 years old, and when I was 17, 18, I decided that I really wanted to keep it in my life and speak it daily. So when I finished my exams, I continued to teach myself and to practice with other Irish speakers, and the rest is history. If you're not following me already on Instagram, I'm going to do a shameless plug now and say please do. I put a questions tab out on my stories saying if you could ask an Irish speaker any question at all, fire it in here and I'll answer them as best I can. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. It's a really good question, and it's a question that I get asked quite frequently. There's a load of ways to learn any language. I continued learning when I left school, so I was learning as an adult, and how I did it was I would read books or newspapers or online media. I'd listen to podcasts. I'd watch YouTube channels, I'd watch influencers who speak Irish. The best way is throw yourself in the deep end and see if you can swim. Like, go to Irish language events where there's other Irish language speakers. If you're really starting from the basics, I would recommend doing Irish classes. There's loads in the city that you can do. I'm pretty sure Q&Gaeilge do Irish language lessons. I will leave a link in the description of some classes that are available in Dublin City. If you're not in Dublin City or in Ireland, you can learn Irish online. There's an app called Duolingo, which I've heard is brilliant for the Irish language, and I know quite a lot of people who have practiced their Irish on it. So yeah, just fully immerse yourself in any way you can. This is a funny one. It really depends on the person because people have such different opinions on Irish. Some people think it's really cool, and some people are like, oh Jesus, who the hell does she think she is? Like, blah blah blah. One of John and I's favourite words in the Irish language is smugglerone, which is the Irish for jellyfish, but the direct translation of smugglerone is seal snot. So I think that's pretty funny. Just, it's a very visual word. So I wanted to study Irish in college, and I actually didn't get the grade in English to be able to do that degree. I got a C in English and you needed a B. Lol, because I worked in journalism for 2 years. So I didn't get the course. I was absolutely heartbroken, and as a result I really pushed myself to continue having Irish in my life. Like, I fully chose it myself without having to, like, you know, do an essay every week or whatever. Like, it was completely my own choice. So I immersed myself in one of the clubs and societies in DCU called Q&Gaeilge, and I was vice chair there, and we had loads of events, and because we were doing them I was like speaking Irish quite regularly. And then me and Quiva started doing a YouTube channel together called TussaTube, where it was entirely in Irish, and I was really practicing my Irish for that. And as a result of that, we got a show with xxxx, and it's so funny. I had like one day where it just clicked with me, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm fluent now. Like, I feel like it's fluid for me. It's really natural. And it was kind of in the middle of the script reading process for the TV show when we were doing voiceovers. The first few weeks in voiceovers I was beating myself up because I thought I was really, really shit at it. And then it was when we really started getting into the studio and filming the shows, one day it just clicked with me, and I feel like I've just had it ever since then. And that was just such a great feeling. I remember finishing the first day of filming and just being so proud of myself. English is my first language, so I think in English, but I have taught in Irish, but predominantly I would think in English. I guess when I'm surrounded by Irish speakers for a long period of time, I'd be thinking in Irish. I get asked this question so many times, and it's like people are just obsessed with sex. So I was thinking I would do a video on how to have sex as Gaeilge and like give like Irish language phrases for that, but I don't kiss and tell. I absolutely love this question. Number one, I'm not actually from Dublin. I'm from Arklow in Wicklow, which is about an hour south of Dublin, so I am not a dub. nor do I ever claim to be. But how do you pick a dialect? This caused a lot of controversy because I was talking about this recently. It's manglami mo Gaeilge, that's what I say. My Irish is a cocktail because I take influences from loads of different dialects. Because my dad is from Munster, I had teachers from Connemara, my best friend in college was from Letterkenny. Like, I literally just had every different kind of Irish coming at me. I would say personally that I have Dublin Irish or Leinster Irish. Every Wednesday on my Instagram I speak Irish. It's called Q&Gaeilge, which means stories with Aideen on Wednesday. And I would usually start the morning with Díomh Magraz, which is actually incorrect. Majinwa is good morning. Magrasa is my love. It's Own Chaku, I love that. It's like a female Egypt kind of, but it's like much worse than calling them an Egypt. I love Faran Fit as a phrase, which means fuck boy. Fuck Hussa a Chunus means fuck you, you cunt. There's such a negative attitude toward that particular word. It's like, oh, she's a big Gaeilgeoir, like, oh, she's mad for the Irish language. Like, I would define a Gaeilgeoir as someone who speaks Irish, and I define myself as a Gaeilgeoir. It's literally the second thing on my Instagram bio, and you know, if it's in that bio, Henny, it's important. It's someone who like has incorporated the Irish language in their life. Just someone who speaks Irish and wants to speak Irish and is passionate about the language. That's a Gaeilgeoir to me. Do you know what? I actually don't know. I'll check my last week. Surprisingly, my numbers are pretty much the same. Like literally last week in particular, my numbers were higher when I was speaking Irish, so maybe I should speak Irish more often. It really depends. Like it varies completely. Like sometimes I'll speak to my mum in Irish, sometimes I won't, sometimes I'll text her in Irish. I wouldn't say I speak it every single day, to be quite honest with you. I wish I did, but I just don't really have those kind of opportunities. Like I can't speak Irish in my office and work. Yeah, I actually do, that's funny. But again, it kind of depends how often I've been speaking Irish. Yeah, there's definitely more of an interest in it, which I absolutely love. Even on Instagram, like, people are really interested in it. There's loads of kind of Irish language accounts now, and they have like really healthy followings, so it shows that people are interested in it. But I still think people are maybe a little bit afraid of the language because they developed bad attitudes and opinions of it when they were in their school days. I would immerse yourself in the Irish language community. So I would like literally go to the pop-up Gael talks. Are the best thing ever. I am always plugging these guys because I just think it's like such a good way to learn Irish, because with a few drinks you kind of get that confidence, and you like, everybody's just so friendly there. And I've met loads of people at the pop-up Gael talks who are just learning and who have come without anyone else, and everybody's so welcoming, and it's just such a nice atmosphere. I love it there. And if I was a newly learning speaker, I'd want to be somewhere like that because it would really encourage me to want to learn more. So go to pop-up Gael talk. So guys, that has been my Q&A today. I do have more questions which I hope to get through, but until then, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Bye!